In the vast emptiness between star systems, the Galactic Council's monitoring array picked up something that instantly shattered their usual rhythm of silence and routine. The signal was massive, a single object moving faster than any known vessel hurtling toward their core space with impossible speed. The screens in the Council's war room flickered as analysts struggled to identify the blip. "Report," demanded High Chancellor Varric, his voice steady but edged with concern. "Unknown object." "Sir," replied Lieutenant Ennis, her fingers flying over the controls. "It's huge, larger than any capital ship in our fleet, maybe larger than our entire fleet combined. We're running scans now, but the readings are unlike anything we've seen." Varric's eyes narrowed. The Council had faced many threats over the centuries: pirates, rogue factions, even hostile alien empires. But this was something new. "Where is it headed?" another counselor asked. "Directly toward our space," Annis answered. No signs of evasive maneuvers or attempts to communicate. It's as if the ship doesn't care if we see it coming. The room fell silent, tension coiling in the air. The Council's decades-long peace was balanced on fragile trust and careful diplomacy. The sudden arrival of such a vessel upset that balance. Far away, on the bridge of the colossal warship, Captain Alina Miles watched the Council's response through a secure com channel. She stood tall, her dark eyes reflecting the cold stars outside the viewport. The Titan her command was a behemoth of human engineering, a warship built not just for battle, but to embody the resilience and spirit of humanity itself. "Status report." She ordered her crew. "We are approaching the edge of Galactic Council space." "Captain," reported Commander Rafe, her second in command. "Sensors show their fleets mobilizing, but no immediate hostile actions." Alina nodded. This was the moment humanity had been preparing for. After centuries of isolation and growth, Earth's reach was extending into the stars. The Council represented the established powers of the galaxy, ancient, proud, and unyielding. They would not welcome humans easily. Back in the Council chamber, leaders whispered among themselves. The unexpected visitor challenged their assumptions. Some proposed sending a delegation to establish contact. Others warned of the dangers of underestimating humanity. High Chancellor Varric raised his hand, silencing the room. "We will prepare our ambassadors," he said, "but also ready our fleets. We must be prepared for any outcome." As the Titan crossed the threshold into Council territory, its immense silhouette blotted out nearby stars. The warship's surface shimmered with advanced armor plating. Its weapons silent but unmistakably powerful dot sensors on the Council's ships detected energy signatures unlike any known technology systems that seemed to merge power with elegance. A balance of destruction and precision. A young analyst, staring wide-eyed at the readings, whispered to a colleague, "Who builds a ship like that? It's beyond anything in the galaxy." The counselors shared that fear. The Titan was a reminder that the universe was far larger and more complex than their old doctrines allowed. This was no mere visitor. This was a Titan among fleets. A challenge to their authority. Inside the war room, the communications officer suddenly picked up a transmission. The message was simple, clear, and broadcast across all frequencies. "This is Captain Alina Miles of the human warship Titan. We come in peace. Seeking dialogue and alliance, humanity is here. We ask for your recognition." The room froze. The Council had heard many such declarations from new arrivals, but none delivered with the calm certainty that flowed from Elena's voice. For a moment, the vast chamber seemed to hold its breath. The future of the galaxy was changing, and no one could say how it would unfold. The vast chamber of the Galactic Council remained heavy with tension. Long after Captain Alina Miles's message faded from the main communication channel, the counselors sat in stunned silence, their faces reflecting a mix of awe, uncertainty, and unease. The arrival of humanity's Titan-class warship was unlike anything they had encountered before, and the sheer scale of the vessel cast a shadow over their centuries-old authority. High Chancellor Varek leaned forward, fingers steepled. "Is there any indication of hostile intent?" he asked sharply. Lieutenant Annis shook her head. "No aggressive maneuvers detected." The ship remained stationary near the border, maintaining position. It neither advances nor retreats. A murmur rippled through the room. The silence from the warship was almost deafening, a silent assertion of power that seemed to say, "We are here, we are watching." It unsettled many more than a direct attack ever could. Outside the Council's sector, the Titan drifted like a dark monolith against the backdrop of stars. It was a silent sentinel, a living statement of humanity's arrival. In the galactic stage, its massive hull absorbed the faint glow of distant suns, its sleek contours betraying no hint of vulnerability. Captain Miles stood on the bridge, watching the displays. Her crew remained calm but alert, aware that every moment of this encounter could define the fate of their species among the stars. "Keep all systems ready," she said quietly. "We do not know their next move, but we must be prepared for anything." Commander Rafe nodded. "Sensors report multiple Council ships approaching, sir. They're maintaining a cautious distance, as the Council fleet formed a loose perimeter. Around the Titan, their ships looked like mere specks compared to the human warship's imposing bulk." The Council's commanders exchanged worried glances. Their fighters and cruisers, once symbols of unmatched power, now seemed fragile and small. In the Council's chambers, the debate was growing more intense. Councillor Yathor, a seasoned diplomat from the star system Vol, spoke with a voice tinged by fear and respect. "This ship is not just a vessel. It's a declaration. Humanity has stepped onto the galactic stage, and they do not appear to be asking for permission." Councillor Maris, a veteran military strategist, frowned. "Their weapon systems are unlike anything we have on record. Their technology blends raw power with precision. We risk being outmatched if we provoke them. But if we appear weak," countered Councillor Phelan, "we invite further incursions. They will see us as a soft target." High Chancellor Varek raised his hand, demanding order. "We must strike a balance. I will send a delegation of diplomats to open formal communication. We do not yet understand their motives, but we must avoid needless conflict." Preparations began swiftly. A Council cruiser was outfitted for diplomatic missions. Its crews briefed to expect anything from peaceful talks to potential hostility. Meanwhile, the Titan's sensors picked up the Council's approach. Captain Miles authorized the opening of a secure channel. "This is Captain Miles of the Titan." Her voice calm and authoritative. "We welcome your emissaries. Our intention is dialogue, not conflict. Humanity seeks allies, not enemies." The Council cruiser slowed as it drew near. Through the viewport, the delegates could see the massive human warship looming, its surface etched with the scars of past conflicts and the marks of advanced technology. The sight inspired awe, even among hardened veterans. As the Council delegation prepared to board the Titan, whispers spread throughout the fleet. Who are these humans, that they come bearing such might and such calm? How did Earth build such a vessel while remaining hidden for so long? Are we ready for the arrival of a power that could reshape our galaxy? Inside the Titan, Captain Miles awaited her guests with quiet confidence. She knew the road ahead would be difficult. The Council's fear was real and justified. But she also understood their opportunity. "This is not just about power," she said to her trusted officers. "It's about earning respect, proving humanity's place among the stars." As the Council delegation crossed the threshold into the human warship, the silent shadow of the Titan seemed to grow even larger, a symbol of change that no one could ignore. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity had arrived. The Council delegation's cruiser glided slowly through the vast docking bay of the Titan. The hum of advanced machinery filled the space, a symphony of power and precision that was both intimidating and awe-inspiring. Walls and floors gleamed with a sleek utilitarian design blending raw strength with meticulous craftsmanship. The air smelled faintly of ozone and recycled oxygen, unmistakably human. Counselor Yathar stepped off the cruiser first, flanked by security officers and aides. His gaze swept over the immense warship's interior with a mix of suspicion and reluctant admiration. This was no simple battleship. It was a fortress, a symbol of humanity's resolve and ingenuity. A group of human officers awaited them. Captain Alina Miles emerged, her posture commanding but composed. Her dark eyes held a steady, unyielding calm that seemed to fill the room. "Welcome to the Titan," she said, her voice clear and unwavering. "We understand your apprehension. We understand the fear that comes with the unknown. But I assure you, humanity does not seek conquest. We seek cooperation." Counselor Yathar inclined his head slightly, though his expression remained guarded. "Your arrival is unprecedented. Your vessel, its size and power, raises many questions. How does humanity intend to integrate into galactic affairs without upsetting the delicate balance we have maintained?" Alina nodded, acknowledging the weight of the question. "We respect the balance you speak of, but the galaxy is changing. So are we. Humanity has faced challenges that shaped us: extinction events, wars, and isolation. We have survived because of our adaptability and determination. Our presence here is a statement. We are here to protect our interests and our people. We will not be ignored." A murmur ran through the delegation. The blunt honesty was disarming, and it carried an unmistakable warning beneath its diplomacy. As such, Alina continued, "We come offering alliance and mutual respect. But understand, this threats to humanity will be met with overwhelming response. We have built the Titan not just to defend, but to deter." Counselor Maris, who had joined the delegation reluctantly, stepped forward. "Your capabilities are formidable, Captain. What assurances do we have that this show of strength will not turn to aggression?" Elena's gaze hardened just slightly. "Actions speak louder than words. I invite you to inspect our technology, our history, our record of restraint. Humanity's strength is matched only by our resolve to avoid unnecessary conflict." Behind her, a holographic display flickered to life, showing historical events from Earth wars survived. Innovations born in crises, moments where humanity faced annihilation but endured. Yathar studied the images carefully. "Your history is indeed remarkable. It speaks of resilience, ingenuity, and a willingness to fight for survival. Yet it also reveals a species forged in conflict." "That conflict made us who we are," Alina replied. "We do not glorify war, but we understand it. We do not seek enemies, but we will not hesitate to defend ourselves." The atmosphere in the chamber shifted. The council delegation realized they were in the presence of a force that combined raw power with unyielding will, a species that had carved its place through sheer perseverance. After hours of discussion, the delegation requested time to consult with the council. Captain Miles agreed. As the council representatives departed, Yathar turned to Alina. "Your arrival has shaken the foundations of galactic politics. You are not merely new players. You are a new standard." Alina nodded. "We intend to be part of this galaxy's future, not as subjects, but as equals." As the doors sealed behind the delegation, Captain Miles looked out the viewport at the council fleet still hovering nearby. "This is only the beginning," she said softly. "They will come to respect us, or they will learn the cost of underestimating humanity." The Titan remained silent but vigilant, a towering symbol of humanity's arrival. and the galaxy's uncertain future. The Council fleet hung in the void like a watchful swarm of insects. Their ships small and agile compared to the hulking presence of the Titan. The Councilors watched anxiously as the massive human warship held its ground without firing a single shot. High Chancellor Varric's voice crackled through the command channel. Deploy the fleet's elite fighters. Test their response. We must know if this Titan is a weapon or a diplomatic bluff. Within minutes, dozens of sleek Council fighters surged forward, cutting through space toward the Titan with practiced precision. Their engines roared. Laser cannons primed the most skilled pilots of the Council, prepared for a display of force. To remind humanity who controlled this sector, on the Titan's bridge, Captain Elena Miles observed the approaching fighters calmly. She turned to Commander Rafe. Let them come. We won't fire unless provoked, but we'll demonstrate the consequences if they cross the line. Rafe nodded, shields at full, weapons ready. The fighters began weaving around the Titan, their pilots testing the limits of their agility against the human warship's immobility. Some closed in boldly, attempting to probe for weaknesses in the colossal ship's defenses. Suddenly, the Titan's targeting systems lit up. Without firing, the warship deployed a series of precision electromagnetic pulses, silent, controlled, disabling the fighter's engines in rapid succession. The disabled craft drifted harmlessly away, their pilots stunned but unharmed. The message was clear. The Titan was more than capable of neutralizing threats without destruction. Back in the Council war room, alarms blared as fleet commanders scrambled to react. Counselor Maris's voice was tense. They stopped our best fighters without a single shot. This is beyond anything we anticipated. High Chancellor Varric's face was grim. This is not a simple show of power. This is a warning. They want us to understand the consequences of underestimating them. As the disabled fighters returned to their carriers for repairs, Captain Miles sent a new communication. This demonstration was not meant to provoke war, but to establish boundaries. Humanity is powerful, but measured. We will not be rushed into conflict, but we will defend ourselves with overwhelming precision. The Council delegation still aboard the Titan noted the balance humanity struck a power wielded responsibly, backed by the undeniable technology displayed. Counselor, Ithar turned to Captain Miles. You have proven your strength without escalating violence. That is unexpected from a newly arrived power. Alina smiled faintly. Survival teaches restraint. Humanity has learned that the greatest victory is avoiding unnecessary war. The counselors returned to their ships with a new, uneasy respect. The Titan was no ordinary warship, was a fortress of both strength and strategy, a warning that humanity had arrived as a force shaped by survival, discipline, and foresight. As the Council fleet regrouped, discussions within their chambers turned from fear to caution. The old tactics of intimidation no longer seemed effective. High Chancellor Varric addressed his advisors. We face a species that does not mirror our fears or expectations. We must reconsider our approach. Perhaps cooperation is wiser than confrontation. Yet not all shared this view. Some factions whispered of the need for preemptive action, fearing humanity's rise would disrupt the galaxy's delicate power balance. Captain Miles, observing the shifting tides from the Titan's bridge, knew this was just the opening move. The galaxy is watching, she said to Commander Rafe. We have made our strength clear. Now it's time to show them our resolve. The Titan remained anchored like a silent sentinel, its dark hull a reminder that humanity was here, strong, measured, and ready to shape the future. The Council chambers buzzed with uneasy energy. The demonstration of power from the Titan had shattered old assumptions and ignited a debate that ran through every corridor and office within the Galactic Council. Some leaders clung to pride. unwilling to acknowledge the seismic shift that humanity's arrival represented. Others, more pragmatic, sought ways to build a new order. High Chancellor Varric called the assembly to order. Humanity has made their position clear. Strength backed by restraint. We must now decide how to respond. Councillor Felon, a stern voice for security, rose from his seat. Their warship is unmatched in scale and technology. If we show weakness, other species may be emboldened. We cannot let humanity rewrite the rules without a firm stance. Councillor Yathar, who had visited the Titan personally, countered calmly. Strength can breed fear. But respect grows from understanding. Humanity has offered dialogue and alliance. If we refuse, we risk war, something none of us truly desire. Varric nodded, acknowledging the wisdom in both arguments. We will send a delegation back to the Titan to negotiate terms, but we will not hesitate to defend ourselves if provoked. Meanwhile, aboard the Titan, Captain Alina Miles prepared to meet the Council's delegation again. Her officers gathered around the holotable, displaying star charts, fleet compositions, and political alignments. Our offer remains the same, Alina said. An alliance built on mutual respect. But make no mistake, any threat to humanity or its interests will be met with overwhelming force. We did not build the Titan to be ignored. Commander Rafe studied the data. Many council members fear us, but some see opportunity. We must use this division to our advantage. The council delegation arrived aboard the Titan once more, their expressions more measured but still cautious. Alina greeted them in the warship's command chamber, flanked by her senior officers. "Welcome," she said. "We come not to dominate, but to coexist. Humanity's history is one of survival against impossible odds. Our strength is born from necessity and tempered by restraint." Councillor Maris stepped forward. "Your warship and your words carry weight. But alliances must be earned through trust. What assurances can you give that humanity will be a reliable partner?" Elena's gaze sharpened. "Actions, not words, will prove that trust. But understand this, humanity's threshold for defense is non-negotiable. Any aggression against us will be answered decisively." She paused, letting her words settle. However, she continued, "We recognize the value of cooperation. The galaxy is too vast and complex for one power to dominate alone. Together, we can face threats none could withstand alone." The Council delegation listened intently as Alina outlined humanity's vision, shared technology, combined defenses, and open communication channels. It was a promise of strength, not just in war, but in unity. Back on the Council's homeworld, the Chambers erupted into debate. Some feared that welcoming humanity would undermine long-established hierarchies. Others saw the potential for a new era of prosperity and security. High Chancellor Varric's voice cut through the discord. "We stand at a crossroads. The choice is ours: resist and risk destruction, or embrace change and forge a stronger future." Outside the chambers, diplomats and military leaders prepared for a tense wait. The galaxy watched as two great powers faced each other, the old order and the rising human tide. On the Titan, Alina reflected quietly. "They fear us," she admitted to Commander Rafe. "But fear can become respect if we hold firm." Rafe smiled. "Then let's show them what humanity really means." The message was clear. Humanity was no longer a distant legend or a minor player. They had arrived with purpose, power, and a vision to reshape the galaxy's future. Back within the towering spires of the Galactic Council's capital, the chamber was alive with heated voices and urgent motions. The arrival of humanity and their colossal warship had unsettled the ancient order, sparking a debate that cut deep into the core of their governance. High Chancellor Varric sat at the head of the oval table, his usually calm demeanor strained by the weight of the crisis. Around him, Counselors representing dozens of star systems argued fiercely, their faces flushed with conviction and worry. Counselor Bellin slammed his fist against the polished surface. We cannot allow humanity's unchecked power to threaten the balance we have fought so hard to maintain. Their Titan is a monster. It dwarfs our fleets and mocks our authority. Counselor Lyra from the peaceful system of Irel shook her head. Felon, your fear blinds you. Humanity's arrival could bring stability. They speak of alliance and cooperation. We should welcome them, not push them away. Counselor Jarek, a shrewd political strategist, leaned forward. Both of you missed the point. This is about more than power or fear. It's about adapting to a galaxy that is changing. The Council's old ways may no longer be enough. The debate raged on, voices rising and falling like the tides. Some counselors argued that humanity's arrival was an opportunity, a chance, to rejuvenate the Council's influence through partnership with a species renowned for resilience and innovation. Others warned that accepting humans as equals risked undermining centuries of tradition and hard-earned diplomacy. High Chancellor Varric finally raised his hand, demanding silence. Enough, we must decide on a course of action. Will we embrace this new power and attempt cooperation, or will we prepare for conflict? A hush fell over the chamber as the question hung in the air. Counselor Yathar, recently returned from the Titan, spoke quietly but firmly, urged caution and openness. Humans are unlike any species we have encountered. Their history is one of hardship and determination. They wield strength with restraint, and they value survival above conquest. I believe they can be allies, but we must test their intentions carefully. Phelan bristled, but did not interrupt. Varric nodded slowly. Then we will send a formal invitation to the Titan for continued talks. Our ambassadors will discuss terms of alliance, trade, and mutual defense. But we will also bolster our fleets. Preparedness must go hand in hand with diplomacy. Counselor Maris, the military advisor, chimed in. I recommend joint exercises to build trust and demonstrate our capabilities alongside theirs. We cannot afford to be caught off guard. The Council agreed to the plan, but the division remained. Outside the chamber, factions began to form, some pushing for integration with humanity, others advocating for a firmer stance. As the debate simmered, whispers of dissent spread through the lower levels of the capital. Certain political groups saw humanity's arrival as a threat to their power and influence, plotting behind closed doors to undermine the peace efforts. Meanwhile, Captain Alina Miles aboard the Titan monitored the Council's response with measured interest. She understood the challenges ahead. Old orders rarely gave way without resistance. Our presence is shaking foundations. She told Commander Rafe, they fear losing control. But fear can be a bridge or a barrier. We must show them that partnership benefits all. Rafe nodded. We've already proven our strength. Now it's time to prove our sincerity. The Titan's communication officers prepared for the next round of talks. As the warship waited in the void, a silent sentinel against a galaxy brimming with uncertainty. The fragile hope for peace lingered balanced on the edge of mistrust and potential. The future of the galaxy rested not on weapons alone, but on the decisions made in chambers far from the stars. The Council chamber buzzed with tentative optimism as the new delegation prepared to depart for the Titan. Months of negotiation had softened hardened stances. But beneath the surface, suspicion still lingered like a shadow. High Chancellor Varric addressed the gathered diplomats and military advisors. This alliance is unprecedented. It must be built on trust, transparency, and mutual respect. We have come far, but the path ahead remains perilous. Counselor Yathar, now a key voice in fostering cooperation, nodded. Humanity's presence challenges us, but it also offers us strength. Together, we can face threats too great for any one species alone. The delegation's cruiser slipped away from the capital and accelerated toward the Titan, which awaited silently at the sector's edge. On board, Captain Alina Miles reviewed the Council's proposals frameworks for shared defense, trade agreements, and joint scientific research. This is progress, she told Commander Rafe. They still hesitate, but they want peace. Rafe studied the star charts. We've proven our might. Now we must prove our worth. The meeting between the Council delegation and the Titan's command was held in the ship's conference chamber, a space designed to accommodate multiple species, with adaptable environments and translators that bridged countless languages. Counselor Maris led the delegation, her sharp eyes meeting Elena's steady gaze. We come ready to discuss terms, but also to express our concerns. Trust cannot be given lightly. Elena nodded. Nor should it be. We understand your fears. Humanity has faced betrayal and war, and we will not forget. Negotiations stretched long into the cycle. Trade routes were proposed and scrutinized, defense protocols debated, and technology sharing agreements cautiously outlined. Both sides pressed for guarantees, security assurances, limitations on weapon deployment, and conflict resolution mechanisms. Despite the progress, tensions flared. Some council members pushed for strict controls on human military presence near key systems. Humanity's representatives resisted, unwilling to accept limits that could undermine their sovereignty. Outside the talks, undercurrents of opposition grew. Factions within the council who viewed humanity as a threat plotted to disrupt the fragile peace. Intelligence reports hinted at covert sabotage. A TTEM-PTS targeting communication arrays and supply lines. Captain Miles received reports with a steady hand. We must remain vigilant. Our enemies are not only outside, but within. Commander Rafe's voice was resolute. Let's increase security and intelligence operations. We'll uncover their plans before they act. The Titan became a fortress, not just of technology, but of political will. Its crew worked tirelessly to maintain the delicate balance, standing ready to defend, but committed to dialogue as the negotiations reached their climax. A crisis erupted. A council supply convoy en route to a distant outpost was attacked by an unknown vessel. Heavily armed and technologically advanced, a ship unlike any in the council's records. Blame and suspicion spread quickly. Humanity was accused of orchestrating the attack to gain leverage. Captain Miles vehemently denied the charges. We had no involvement, she insisted. This act only threatens the fragile peace we've worked so hard to build. Counselor Yathar pushed for calm, urging a thorough investigation before action. We cannot afford to fracture now. If there is a saboteur, it is one who fears unity. The investigation uncovered evidence of a rogue faction within the council, intent on sabotaging the alliance to preserve old power structures. The revelation was explosive. High Chancellor Varric condemned the faction, ordering their arrest and the reinforcement of peace measures in the aftermath. The alliance, though shaken, held firm. Captain Miles addressed her crew. We face enemies who want to see us divided. But we are stronger, united. Humanity will stand with the Council, not against it, Commander Rafe added. This is just the beginning. Our alliance is fragile, but it is a beacon for the future. The Titan and the Council fleet stood side by side once more, a testament to the possibility of peace born from strength and trust. The galaxy watched, waiting to see if this fragile alliance could withstand the storms to come. The galaxy held its breath after months of tension, negotiation, and near collapse. The fragile alliance between humanity and the Galactic Council had weathered its first great storm. The exposed faction seeking to undermine peace had been dismantled, their influence shattered. but the path ahead remained uncertain. The shadows of doubt lingering like distant storms on the horizon. On board the Titan, Captain Elena Miles stood. Before her crew, the massive warship's command bridge alive with quiet activity. Outside the viewport, stars streaked by as the ship prepared to move toward the Council's capital for a historic ceremony. Today, Elena began, her voice steady and resolute. We celebrate not just a treaty, but a commitment, a promise. That despite our differences and fears, we choose to build a future together. Commander Rafe stepped forward. The challenges are far from over. But this alliance has already changed the galaxy's balance. We will continue to face threats, internal and external, but we will face them united. The Council's capital world was alive with unprecedented activity. Citizens from across the sector gathered to witness the historic signing of the Human Council Alliance Charter, a document symbolizing mutual respect, shared defense, and collaboration. High Chancellor Varric stood alongside Captain Miles on the ceremonial dais. His voice echoed across the plaza. Amplified by vast networks of communication, "We stand at a crossroads of history," Varric proclaimed. The arrival of humanity has challenged old doctrines and forged new possibilities. This alliance is a testament to our capacity to overcome fear with understanding, suspicion with trust. Captain Miles nodded, her presence commanding. Humanity has survived by embracing change, by adapting and growing stronger. Together with the Council, we will protect this galaxy, not through domination, but through cooperation. As the treaty was signed, a wave of applause and celebration rippled through the crowd. For the first time in generations, the galaxy glimpsed the promise of a united future. But amid the cheers, the leaders remained vigilant. Intelligence reports continued to warn of isolated threats, remnants of the defeated faction. Rogue elements seeking to destabilize the fragile peace. High Chancellor Varric addressed these concerns with steady resolve. We will remain watchful. Our unity must be strong enough to withstand those who would see us divided. Back on the Titan, the warship's crew prepared for new missions, joint patrols with Council fleets, scientific expeditions to unexplored regions, and diplomatic envoys to distant worlds. Captain Miles reflected on how far humanity had come. From isolated survivors on a blue planet to a rising power-shaping galactic destiny. The galaxy is vast, she told Commander Rafe. Our journey is just beginning. Rafe smiled. And with allies at our side, there's no limit to what we can achieve. As stars glimmered beyond the Titan's hull, a new chapter unfolded, one where humanity's strength and spirit would inspire, not fear, but hope. The Council no longer froze in fear at first contact. Instead, they embraced a future where different worlds stood shoulder to shoulder, united in a fragile but enduring peace. The dawn of a new era had arrived.